We're in the heartland of triathlon here in Taupo for the Nutrigrain Taupo Half Ironman, and what a race we are promised, with a lineup of legends of the sport. First up, it's registration, bike check, racking the bike, and a wander through the expo.
Taupo Half Ironman is a great challenge. The town really gets behind it and supports it, which is really good, and want to do the full Ironman as well, so it's a good warm-up.
10 times New Zealand Ironman champion Cameron Brown would have to be the top contender. However, expect Callum Millwood up front mixing it with the legend, as he's in winning form at the moment.
So the appeal for Taupo really was just to see how I'm going, gauge my form 4 weeks out of Tauranga, which is really the pinnacle race for me. So it's a good field here with Jamie and Cameron and Keegan. Yeah, so the course here, I mean, it'll give me a bit of a snapshot to see what Ironman's going to be like. I'd like to have a crack at it in maybe 2 years' time.
In the women's race, expect the action to be close between Ironman New Zealand champion Sam Warriner and former Ironman New Zealand champion Gina Crawford, who's just returned to racing after having her first child.
Well, White Taupo, I'm doing my first Ironman in March, and this is the perfect, recce of the course. What am I looking forward to today? I'm just wanting to finish the last 10 Ks of the run without dropping dead. So.
It's a lovely still day here on the start line, with no wind, cool temperatures and a little rain forecast. Near perfect conditions, so expect some blistering times. They are off. Ahead, a 2-kilometre swim that looks along the shoreline here in Taupo, with triathletes enjoying the crystal clear water of New Zealand's largest lake. Then it's onto the bike for a 90-kilometre ride out to Reparoa on Broadlands Road, finishing off with a 21-kilometre run along the lakefront. Already swimmers are strung out across the bay. At the front is a group that includes Cameron Brown, Callum Millwood, Chris Dender, Jared Bowden, Tony Edmonds and Jamie White. The women's race is led by a group that includes Ironman champion Sam Warriner, Gina Crawford, along with Jana Korbasova and Belinda Harper. The front bunch has lifted the pace and stretched their lead on the home swim. First from the lake is Chris Dender in a time of 25:25, with Jared Bowden, Tony Edmonds, Callum Millwood, Jamie White and Cameron Brown in close pursuit. With the men out onto the road, the women are making the beach, and it's the familiar figure of Gina Crawford and Sam Warriner, led by Jana Korbasova. This is where the battle for the 2012 Nutrigrain Half Ironman is expected to come from Warriner and Crawford, who are out onto the 90-kilometre cycle first, with Belinda Harper needing to lift the pace if she wants to be with the lead women on the ride. The day isn't all about the elites though. There are many age group titles up for grabs and personal bests to be broken on the country's best Ironman course. Cameron Brown's put the hammer down, making a break and dispatching Callum Millwood and Jamie White, his main rivals. That is a good lead stretching out to over several hundred metres. Will the chasers counter-attack by working together to pull back Brown before he can do some serious damage, followed by a group of about 5. In the women's race, it's Gina Crawford that leads Sam Warriner. Last week, Warriner was the victor at Tin Man Try, but can she hold off Crawford in Taupo as she returns to the sport a year on as a mum? We may have spoken too soon. Warriner is off up the road and Crawford's not going with her. Belinda Harper is a comfortable third. However, she's in no man's land, doing all the work alone. Let's have a closer look at the large chasing men's bunch and see who's there. It's Tony Edmonds, Jared Bowden, Matt Taylor, Keegan Williams and Brodie Madgwick, who's leading the charge. Brown still leads, however the big movers now seem to be Millwood and White. They've bridged the gap to the lead. Millwood and White have worked together to catch Cam. With this powerhouse trio up front, it's going to be hard for the chasing bunch, with New Plymouth half Ironman champion Keegan Williams in to make any margin on these guys, and they are flying. Brown's back racing the Taupo course in preparation for Ironman in March. White, who leads at the moment, is using Taupo in his build-up to defend his Challenge Wanaka title in January. And Millwood is here hoping to continue his winning streak after taking victory at the Tin Man Try. With the Reparoa turnaround just ahead, let's see if we can get some splits between the top contenders. White's the first to turn at the halfway point at Reparoa, followed by Millwood and Brown. Let's start the clock. It's a massive 5 minutes separating our leaders and the chasing bunch, so it's looking like the title race for 3 podium spots is between Brown, White and Millwood. There's just the small matter of a 45-kilometre ride and 21-kilometre run remaining to sort out the placings. Jason Klutz overshoots the turn. Sam Warren is determined to leave everything out on the course today as she races into Reparoa with no sign of Crawford for the moment. Round the turn and onto the home league back to Taupo, Warren is just 8 minutes behind the men. What a great solo effort. Crawford's turned at Reparoa exactly 2 minutes behind Warren. We still have a close race with 66 kilometres of racing to the finish line. Crawford is the only woman to have won both Ironman New Zealand and the Challenge Wanaka Iron Distance race. While Warriner is a 2-times Olympian, former ITU Series champion and won her rookie year at Ironman New Zealand up against world champion Miranda Carfrey. So our women's field is full of talent. As the pros head home to Taupo, the age groupers are just about at Reparoa. The large chasing group are unable to make inroads to our trio up front. The leaders are back into Taupo at the end of the 90-kilometre ride with nothing between the top 3. A smooth, quick transition could make the difference between winning and finishing second. Let's watch the pros at work.
Half Ironman contenders. Both Jamie's got his runners on.
They're out on the run just as they came in, with White leading, then Brown and Millwood. Keegan Williams leads in the second bunch.
Keegan Williams as well. Matt Taylor.
Wow, this is impressive. Multiple New Zealand road cycling champion Gordon McCauley blasted through the field. Our women's leader is in, with Warriner continuing to lead the Nutrigrain Taupo Half Ironman. Belinda Harper snuck through into second, riding a minute quicker than Crawford on the bite. However, Crawford's experience shone through, overtaking Harper in transition. Out on the lakefront, and Callum Millwood shown a great burst of leg speed to pass and gap Cameron Brown and Jamie White early on. Can the former Olympic distance triathlete hold off Brown over the longer race? We're about to find out. There's nothing in it as Brown stays a few seconds behind Millwood. At the first turn of 2 laps, Millwood stretched his lead to 26 seconds, with White comfortably holding third. Sam Warriner continues to lead the women's elite race as she heads out on the first run loop. Behind, Gina Crawford is pulling away from Belinda Harper in third. The leading team is coming through the field, and it's 1164. Right behind is cycling supremo Gordon McCauley, adapting to running. Belinda Harper's holding third. She'll have to keep the pace up as there are some quick runners now off the bike. As Warriner heads back into town, the leading men are starting their last lap. And it's Callum Millwood who leads Cameron Brown and Jamie White. While Crawford's second is looking a dead cert, Belinda Harper's third is under challenge by this rising star, Candice Hammond, with less than a minute separating them with a lap of the run to go. There's just the short Taupo waterfront stretch here, standing between Callum Millwood and victory at the Nutrigrain Taupo Half Ironman. The time split to Cameron Brown stuck at around 30 seconds for the entire run leg, so it'll be interesting to see if Cam can lower the margin by the finish. Millwood's a man on a mission to win, and an even rarer moment, score a win against Ironman legend Cameron Brown. Millwood has taken out the 2011 Nutrigrain Taupo Half Ironman, and that time on the clock of 3 hours 56:16 breaks the course record. 2 wins in 2 weeks, the Tin Man, and now the Nutrigrain Taupo Half Ironman, carving 10 minutes off the record. Congratulations, Callum Millwood. Just 27 seconds behind in second is the familiar figure of Cameron Brown. He's using this race to kickstart his campaign to defend his Ironman New Zealand title. He was game enough to make a break on the bike and kept Millwood in view throughout the run.
So this was my first sort of crack at Taupo half here, and I mean, I wasn't really sure how the race was going to pan out. We all came out of the water together, and Cam really dropped the hammer the first sort of 15 k's of the bike, so it really split up the race straight away. And then I mean, Jamie and I sort of had to work pretty hard to pull him back, and then from there we just rode pretty strong to try and keep the chase group at bay. And coming into T2, I think we had a pretty healthy margin on the rest of the field. And yeah, it was just going to be a running race, which I thought it might pan out to be that way. And I mean, Cam's such a classy runner, I know his pedigree, and I didn't really want to be dueling with him at, you know, sort of 15 to 20 k's. I mean, I've watched him demo the field here at Ironman, so I wanted to just get away from him as quick as I can and hold on. So I'm really happy with how it went.
Oh, I just haven't raced since Hawaii, so that was a bit of a disappointment up there. So I wanted to have an early season race, and it's always good to come down here and go over the Ironman course. You know, it's the exact course for what we do for Ironman, so you know, half the distance. But yeah, no, it was great, good conditions, and you know, form's quite good early season. So looking forward to Tauranga half Ironman now. Getting onto the run, just sort of Callum got a gap, he just pushed early, and you know, sort of 150 metres opened up, and then sort of it was around about 30-35 seconds the whole race, and yeah, just wasn't able to peg anything back. So but yeah, no, it's pleasing. You know, the form's good. So.
Jamie White takes third as he sharpens up to defend his Challenge Wanaka title. He was with the leaders on the swim and the bike, only losing touch on the run.
Taupo provides a really challenging course. The roads out there are tough work, you know, it's pretty heavy riding. So it's just a really good hit out for the boys early in the season. And it's just a nice place to race, beautiful swim, like I love swimming in that lake, it's just amazing. So good hit out and nice course here.
Putting leader.
It's more fun when it's sprint finish. You should have passed me.
New Zealand women's marathon and road champion Lisa Robertson anchors Team Vita Sport to victory in the teams race.
Yeah, we had Molly Swanson doing our swim leg. I think she did about 27 minutes. And Andrew Sylvester did the 90k bike. I'm not sure what his time was because we were swapping over. And yeah, then I did the last leg, half marathon, and it's really good conditions for it actually. It was nice. Good run.
Now, your swim, strong swim.
Sam Warriner has led from early on in the bike leg, looking comfortable throughout the race, and the New Zealand Ironman champion can now add the women's Taupo half Ironman to her list of achievements, with the icing on today's win being a new course record of 4 hours, 24 minutes and 37 seconds.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, we go around the world racing, but you can't beat racing at home, you can't beat racing in New Zealand. I suppose I've got very, very warm memories, you know, from winning the Ironman New Zealand after heart surgery. I mean, that was the fairy tale for me. And yeah, once again, you know, running along the waterfront there again with the crowds there, that just brought back that feeling. So I knew once I was running along there, I had it in my hands. So that was the best feeling ever. Yeah, on the swim, I had an okay swim. Once again, Gina and I got out together, and then Gina stayed with me for like the first 10k or so on the bike, so I was thinking she must be feeling pretty strong. And then I just put the hammer down and just got away, and once I got away, I just kept extending my lead. That's what I wanted to do on the bike, was go hard. And then on the run, once I had the lead, I knew I had the lead, and I just wanted to hold it really. I didn't do anything silly on the run, I just kept an even pace, and that seemed to work. All I had to do was hold on to that pace, and that worked. And as I said, yeah, I didn't feel brilliant out there, but you know, it's my third race in a row, 3 out of 3, so I can't be, yeah, that's got to be great, so I'm very pleased.
Gina Crawford's come home strong in second place, just 3 minutes back. A very encouraging performance for the season ahead, having had time off to have her first baby.
I had my little boy in mid-July, so it's been a slow build-up. I sort of started running in September with 10-minute runs, and I've just been building up from there, and now yeah, I'm up to the half Ironman distance, but my main focus is to get myself back for the Ironman distance in January.
This is the surprise performance of the day, with Candice Hammond taking out third.
Mainly because Ironman's held here, so I want to get out and practice on the course, and also it attracts some good athletes, so it's good to compare yourself with those other girls.
It's 5 times national road cycling champion Gordon Macaulay finishing his first Ironman, all part of the stepping stone to his Ironman New Zealand campaign in March. 297th out of the water, a course cycle record of 2 hours 7 minutes, and 45th overall. Not a bad day's effort from the Commonwealth Games time trial bronze medalist.
That's a new kind of suffering. Can't wait till the big one. Yeah, that's quite hard, really, but it's not so bad. The only way I can go fast on the bike is to keep bike racing. So it's just a case of taking a bit of a hit in the bike racing because the running sort of blunts you a bit, and then just see what happens at Ironman. But that's the longest run I've ever done today. So judging by the way I feel now, there's going to be a fair bit of walking at Ironman.
Well, that concludes our coverage of the 2011 Nutrigrain Taupo Half Ironman. See you all here next year, either racing or enjoying the local hospitality.
Taupo.